Boom, kids! It's another great morning here with Roy Becker, Mark Miller. Roy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Apparently my English not so good, however. No, I'm doing good.
Doing good.
I just bit of a tongue twister there somehow.
I'm not liking my green screen here in the background here. Let's try and change
strange,
this up like that. Yeah, it needs a little tweaking, I think. We'll go here so it doesn't bug us too much. Jumping right into the code today, I think. Well, at least that's what I say, but you know what? We can talk about all kinds of things. We talk about keto on here. We're loading up the overlays right now. Looks like that drone game loaded in really fast. Is that really possible? Can we try typing in a drone command out there?
That possibly because we have no emitters?
No, I just
previously was a potential perf issue.
Yeah, no, you know what I think it is? I think it's we need a refresh is what I think we need. Let's do a refresh of the drone page over there. I've refreshed the caches of the Dragonfront overlay and the back overlays for the Dungeons and Dragons game. I believe, did I do the scroll overlay on that? Maybe I did not. Let's see what happens if we mess with the app. Let's see what's going on here. No, we've got a problem with it. I haven't really done much at all since yesterday. So we kind of left yesterday and we had a little bit of a problem. And I'll show you the problem. Where are you? There you are, right there. So here's the problem, kind of where we're at right now. Essentially, no data is coming through. We're getting an error.
That's right, yes.
We're getting an error that says selected character index not found. I promised you yesterday that today's show is likely to have one of three outcomes, either noticeably better than yesterday's show, noticeably worse, or not noticeably different. I'm getting a feeling we might just be pushing around noticeably better right now. That's kind of what I'm feeling. We'll see what happens. We got some optimism here. So
we start with some at least hints as to where problems might be. So that's good.
Yeah, you know what? If I get data here, if I actually see data, within a few minutes, I'm going to be pretty happy. I'll even take that by the end of the show, to be honest, and I'll be saying it's a better show on our way up. So that's what I'm going to try.
Improvement is always better.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do here. So. Basically, the problem is here, our selected character index, we're trying to get it. We're expecting the data to be there. We're not getting anything back because the characters have not been created yet, is what it appears. Update player data when that comes through. And actually, it just occurred to me, I have not, since I started today, hit this button right here to initialize the player data. So let's do that. And, did we actually really not have a problem? It's just that it was a user issue? Oh, wait, we do kind of have a problem. We have a problem in that the data here is correct. You can see here I've got a 10, 17, Constitution is 16. But the data here is still not correct. It's using some randomly generated character. So we have that particular issue that we need to solve. Now, I think if I come in and make a change, as I recall...
Michael Jolly is in the house.
Michael Jolly. Oh, geez, he hit my head. He just smashed on my head. Did you see that, Rory?
Dear, oh dear.
I really...
Someone should cite that guy for dangerous tacoing.
Yes, I know. Seriously, we need some cops. We need some cops on this show. More police force. Oh, no.
Surly Dev is in the house.
It's going to be a great show, kids. With Michael Jolly and Surly Dev here, there's no way we can fail. There's no way.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Mark, and say that you've got the audio levels really good.
Oh.
When those are playing, they're audible, and I can still hear you if necessary. I'm assuming that the chat room have similar experience, but that seemed pretty good.
Oh, cool. You can double check it out by listening to the stream. I am, I'm looking. I've been watching the levels. Mark the settings, Rory. Yeah, I've been watching the levels, and good. Yeah, Michael Jolly says sound is good.
He's in the house.
All of our friends are here today. Wait, let's see what Will says. He's the Dean of Mean, the Sultan of Destruction, the President of Dissidents. The roof is on fire. You don't need no water streamers and screamers. I think I didn't pronounce the last sentence right. You don't need no water, streamers and screamers. I don't know. I think I ruined that. I think it was written well, and I blew it. Will's got, I feel like I need a chart, a graph of the awesomeness to which Will is introducing himself every time. So he's pretty high. He's kicking my butt. I'll tell you that much.
Almost like scoring marks with cards above the head for entrance text.
Yeah,
he's scoring pretty high.
I blew it, Michael Telly says, but the audio, he's referring to me. He says, you blew it, but the audio level was perfect. Well, that's really good. Yeah, I'm finding that audio is not easy to solve on here. And I ended up uninstalling the Banana Meter software. It was offering some promise, but ultimately didn't get me what I needed, and I found a way to work around it. And for folks who are streamers out there, I know Michael streams. The thing that was important to me is I wanted to share with Rory, and also the same was with the Dungeons and Dragons shows. I want them to see and hear the. I want them to hear the desktop sounds. So if the dice are rolling on my desktop, I need the players all there to hear the dice rolls. If there's an axe flying through the air and about to hit them, I need them to hear the whoosh, 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 before it gets hit. Upgraded to potato and it worked well, but added a weird click to my mic at random times, says Michael. Yeah, so I was suspecting that I was having too much software in between. I had Banana, and I also had upgraded to their or upgrade. I don't know if that's the right word, but I purchased their virtual cables as well. And I was tweaking cables all over. The problem was I couldn't isolate. I couldn't pull out, for example, Skype sounds from my desktop. So if I wanted to share desktop with other Skype users, ultimately what we ended up doing to solve the problem is I create a very tiny little window, and I go into Skype and I say, share my window, that one window. So it's got very little in terms of having to push stuff out. And then I click on share desktop sounds. And what that does, and the reason why I believe also is I believe that Skype had built-in software to essentially defeat what we were trying to do. In other words, if I was looping in sounds from Skype back to my desktop and then back out to Skype, sending it out, and it was like, wait, you're trying to send us back out, and so it was applying noise reduction filters to it based on what was coming in, and essentially wiping out all the desktop sounds anyway. So just basically saying, yeah, we're going to take the whole thing down. And that's my theory on what it was. So ultimately, our workaround is open a tiny little notepad window, share that window only, so the upload impact is minimal, and then but also share desktop sounds.
So I wonder if that isn't part of the explanation as well as to when you play music, why it comes across Skype particularly badly and garbled, because it's trying desperately to erase it somehow and just isn't capable of keeping up with the complexity of the sound.
Let's see what happens now if we start some music. Let's see what we do here. Whoops, I hit the button and did not work. Hold on one more time. There we go. All right. How's my audio now, Rory?
It's okay at the moment.
Yeah. I'm almost having a feeling that, like I said, I had too much. I'm pushing my system to the limit all over the place.
Sure.
And by taking out the Banana software and simplifying things, I think I'm a little bit better. So we got some killer music here. Okay, so we've got some problems with the data here. Did I go ahead and change that? I changed it to a 0. There we go. Now the data corrects itself.
And all the rest of it too. It's not just that one field. Everything just synced up. Well, I say everything. Everything down the left. Strength, dexterity, and so forth has not.
Strength?
Sorry, I mean in the rectangular panel, that's not.
These right here. These are wrong. These are correct over here, I believe. They're close to correct. I've just got a few tweaks on those. So yeah, there's definitely some weird data thing that's going on here with this, and I haven't quite figured that out. I think it's because initially I was creating random characters to test the data with.
Yes.
And so I think we've still got some of that out there. One other note, yesterday on the stream, somebody said, hey, I heard a weird sound, and I don't know what caused it. And I'm pretty sure I know what that is. It's this window I've built right here. So this window is looking for important messages in the chat room, things with a lot of words in them, something along those lines. When that happens, it makes a sound and updates on this other monitor that I have it, so I can, just move my eyes the smallest distance to see what somebody's just typed into the chat window. And So that'll sometimes happen from time to time. There might be a sound pop up, and if you're not sure where it came from, check out the chat room. There's probably a long message or a message with an exclamation mark at the end or something like that, and the heuristics are saying, looks like it's important, and so it's playing an important sound associated with it. So with Skype, I've just been feeding him in my OBS virtual cam to it, so guests essentially see her scream. Well, yeah, your cognitive load. It's not good, kids. We really need someone to do something about these aliens. Oh. It's just so messy on this show. It's really messy. Legendary Moo, glad to have you here. So glad you're doing your part.
Welcome, Moo.
To battle, aliens from other planets. We really, really like that. I don't think Sex Positive is going to be here today, so you're not going to be able to see her, yeah, messy, but it cleans up quick, says Michael Jolly. Yeah, we won't be able to see hers unless I manually play them out here. Go ahead, let's. Should we do it? Play a manual one. We'll give you one of hers. Go. Oh no. Oh, it's not good. This is a family show. If only Sex Positive were here. Look out!
In the house.
She's not in the house. She's not in the house, but she'll be here tomorrow. So that's hers right there. That's one of her edited ones. She's got two now.
Nice.
And I'm actually I don't have the time yet to do this, but I actually have a motivation to create alternates for some of the folks out here to give it a little more variety as we're coming in. So anyway, we got some problems here when it first comes across here. I would love to figure out what's going on, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. So we're gonna have to kind of explore and look around. That's what we're gonna have to do. You got so many crazy effects, really cool. Says F. Bucheros. Welcome, F. Bucheros. Welcome. Yeah, it's crazy. That's what we're doing here. You're seeing, by the way, we're building essentially an add-on for. You want to say what it is, Roy? I hear you.
Yeah,
like
well,
you want
okay.
to say it.
So essentially what's going to happen is Mark's got this stream in which we do coding and we build things, and it's hopefully as interesting as we can make it. But in this particular case, he's got a second stream that is going to be kicking off at some point soon, in which he and some colleagues will be doing some Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so there's elves and other races and magic and quests and so forth. And there's going to be, however, these people will be disparate locations, joined via Skype on the stream, that kind of thing. And there's going to be a Dungeon Master, and the Dungeon Master obviously has to have a level of control. So we're building what you might think of as a command and control system for him. So he can roll the dice, keep track of the stats, cause things to happen, that kind of stuff. And the results of which need to be transmitted from his command and control application to the stream itself. So on screen you can see a sort of a pseudo tabbed interface with a few bits of information, and that's his app. But to the left of that, as far as the stream is concerned, is the rendition of that will be broadcast. So you can imagine that Mark is using the application here now. He's altering stats. He's causing rolls of dice to happen, that kind of thing. He's keeping track of all the history, the time involved, all the effects necessary, the drinking of potions causing various effects. And all of this then broadcast on the stream.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, at least. We're trying to kind of get that working here. So we're kind of getting that working so that when we broadcast that show, we can do that, and that's what we're trying to do. We are noticing there's a couple issues we have to deal with. One is a performance issue, which I'm sometimes seeing here, like in the background over here, we're seeing it. It seems to be related to our particle system. So we want to look at that. Whoops, I'm grabbing and dragging the totally wrong window over. Hold on, sometimes I look down at my view of what I'm sending and I think, oh, there it is. I'll click that window and it's not a window at all. That's how my suspension of disbelief works. So that's what we're working on. Right now we've got a kind of a data transmission problem, it seems, here with this guy right here. And I want to take a look at that, is what I want to do. Let me also, let's go switch back over here to this view, which is going to clear off that scroll so it's not blocking the code. Whenever we test or switch pages, we're going to block the code temporarily because that's kind of what's happening. I might be able to switch that on or off. Looks like we're totally caught in a performance issue here. Notice we didn't have it on the live stream, but we did have it over here, where you can see the particles right there are still up and have not moved or been updated yet. So there's a perf issue, it looks like, as well. I think the first thing I want to do is kind of explore the code, since I haven't looked at it in a while, to see what's going on with the with that. Looks like also it's a perf issue with Chrome, even, it looks like here.
Seems that way.
Let's see what our task manager says. Oh yeah, it's taking a while to come up. I think we're probably at 100%. Look at that.
Wow.
Chrome's really not taking up that much. Edge is taking up more than I wanted to. Oh, there we go. It's dropping down a little bit. Visual Studio's taking a lot. Yeah, interesting. I think it's something along these lines. Let me reload the page there and see if that frees things up. Meanwhile, let's look at the code and see if we can figure out what's going on with this. One of the classes that this is that we're working on here is our character stat scroll class, which is here. And this is this infamous error that we're getting here. Character index not found. I want to go look around at characters because I think we're actually seeing that when we change. That refresh is also taking a while too. Empty cache and hard reload. Let's see if that gets it any faster. I think we may be looking at restarting Chrome here. I'm getting a feeling Chrome is like, yeah, it's things we're looking so good there. Character index not found. Let's go look at characters and see what's going on. When is characters populated? It's populated here. So we can at the very least set a breakpoint there and watch and verify. Let's see if it's cleared out anywhere else. It's cleared out there. Let's set a breakpoint there, make sure we're not hitting that unexpectedly. And this is where we create a new instance of the character stat scroll. Are we doing this a lot? Wait, I thought I was just looking at a constructor, but I don't see it. Here it is right here. Yeah, so this is a tip. I'm using CodeRushed, by the way, in here. And what it allows me to do is if I'm on a constructor, so if I come down here on the constructor keyword and I hit tabbed index reference, I should jump only to the new instances of it. So it's only newed up right here inside of initialize scroll. So I guess I could set a breakpoint there too to make sure we're not calling this multiple times. And let's see, did our refresh work over here? Looks like it did. Okay, so now let's send some data over. We're going to start by clicking initialize player data. And what do we get? There's our, okay, fine. I'm glad I'm okay to be there.
Yeah. And
what I should have actually done though is I should have set a breakpoint after this to check out on the way out of this if we were okay or not. So we get here and nothing is lined up. It's all using the other data. So the data is not actually being displayed. So we got to figure out why is that the case. Let's go look at I think there's another piece in here called update player data or something like that. Is that true? Pre-update, update. We go through the emitter pages. That's just to do the emitter. Where are we?
There is somewhere the phrase character.update, isn't there?
Something you see on screen, Rory?
We saw that in the perf analysis that Chrome was giving us yesterday.
Right.
So there was a world version, and then within that was a game, then a world, then a character.
Yeah, we discovered that setting this to false allowed us to get out of the perf problem right there. Surly Dev, your user level is 23. Surly Dev's like, 23? Is that all? Yeah, Surly Dev's been collecting some coins, kids. Hold on. Draw highlighting. Start cute emitters. Draw character stats. That feels like a good and interesting place to go look at.
Yeah.
Here's the active character, and we're going into characters and getting selected character index. Okay, what's our selected character index? 0. Characters, let's go look at that. Characters is 0. We just added these. Oh, but that's all the wrong data, which means we added these later.
Things that we pushed were
someone else
less than perfect.
Someone else added after we did, I think, is what's going on. So let's go find that. So here's ours in set player data. Why am I not finding it though? Update player data. Yeah, I'm in a loop here, and I'm not seeing where characters is added or changed any other places here. Is it possible we could be modifying this? All right, let's do this. Let's do a search for just characters throughout the solution. Let's look only in TypeScript files. I'm wondering if it's of type any, and reference somewhere else, but of type any. So JavaScript still works,
yes,
but tab
possible.
to next reference doesn't find it. So let's take a look at that, see if we can find it all in there and see what's going on, because maybe that's what's going on here. I'm really interested in it outside of...
There you're adding 4 test items there. Is there any? Oh no, those are commented out. Sorry.
These right here,
Yeah.
Characters,
Okay,
yeah.
not that then.
But close, that's what
I
we're
guess
looking for.
conceptually, if we define characters.push, or calls to it for that matter, we'd be able to backtrack from there.
You want to search for characters.push? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I wonder if you've got breakpoints on anything that tries to push, and then we see what it's pushing and where it's getting it from.
Yeah, push though is not something we don't have control over that right here. Add character. This character's push. This character's push. That's in world though. That's different. Okay,
that's the one I'm thinking there, the 220 or 212 on character stat scroll. So if we were to have a breakpoint on that, which should only come across it 4 times.
Yeah. These characters are coming in from the player piece right here. I guess set player data could be called twice, but we only saw it called once. Let's try again. Here we go. Let's hit continue. And let's come over here and say initialize player data. And so now we're here with the push, and so we're doing players. So we've just done a JSON parse on the player data. So that's what we're sending over from the C# application, the WPF app. So there's 1 and 2, 3, and 4, and we should be out. And then we're out, and then I run. And we still got bad data. And I don't
Is the
understand
initialized data sending bad data?
Nope, I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we can double check that here. We can go in there and take a look at that. Let's close this down right here. Let's see here. Let's see if we can go back to where we were. We can double check that, the data right in there. We can totally do that. It's as if those commented out lines are still running, is what it feels and seems like.
Kinda, yeah.
It totally seems like that. But let's do that. We'll when we get out here, we'll clear this breakpoint here, and right to get out here, we'll interrogate the data and see what the problem is. So we're looking for example, Willie Shaker to have a strength of 10. Okay, so we'll say initialize player data, and let's go look at the characters. Willie is number 1. And base strength is 10, so that
looks good.
That's it. I don't think there's a strength property in here. By the way, I noticed this. This bugs me about Visual Studio. Visual Studio, at least when I've got TypeScript up and I'm debugging, it only loads up a few of the properties, up to like death, save, life. It doesn't give me everything. So I'm like, wait, what? If I want to scroll down, I can't go any further. I'm like, why would you do that? That makes no sense to me to implement it in a way where they just hard cut it off like that.
That is very strange.
Yeah, there's lots of
properties. Do you
properties.
have a specific thing that you're expecting to see that is definitely not there?
Yeah, I've got about another 50 properties out here after death, save, life. In fact, if we look at the player data, let's see, what do we need to do?
Got death, save, life 3 at the very minimum there.
Okay, yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Death, save, life, or death, save, death 3, death, save, life 3, experience points, inspiration, right? All of those
Well,
are
they're definitely not there, are they? That's kind of harsh.
Yeah, it's a little bit. What's interesting is it starts with those right there. Hue shift, level, all of those are missing from this.
That's a good question. Will says, does the watch window do the same thing? So if we sort of highlight something, go Shift F9 and pull stuff up.
Sure. Let's look at that. I think I did, and I found that it did have the values in there correctly. So if I said, we're going to say this dot characters of 0, and we say dot level, which we don't see in the tip, we should see a 4. What? Oh, maybe I didn't set it yet. Hold on. It's still a 0, which shows us something. Let's try gold pieces.
A scroll covering code again, Mark. We might want to.
There you go.
Sorry.
No worries. So let's type in gold pieces, and I think it's with an uppercase P right here, and see what we got there. 150. So gold pieces.
The data is there.
Yeah, the data's there, but we're just not seeing it when we come in here and we look at it. I'm like, I don't get it. There's no gold pieces in here.
That is really kind of harsh.
It just cuts off right there. And yeah, I don't understand it at all. It's like a Visual Studio thing, I think. So the data here is right in characters.
The data's good.
Yeah. Let me try a rename on this and see where Visual Studio thinks it exists and see if there's any other place where it's being pushed. And the answer is it's not. Visual Studio agrees with CodeRushed that those are the only places it's being accessed. Is there a chance that this here is not, it's on character stat scroll is what it is. Maybe there's another place it's getting the data from. Yeah, this is like a mystery to me. I'm like, this is like, we've seen this before where we've been like, wait, why isn't it working? And it was a restart of the machine or something like that that led to it working all of a sudden. No changes of code. But I think that it's, let's do this though. Let's hit the button one more time and see what happens on the live stream. I think we have the same problem. Oh, the live stream needs to be updated.
Much worse problem by the look of it so far on the live screen.
Yeah, the live screen is like, I think it ran into a bug on the way open. So let's go in and let's refresh the cache on the live stream here. But yeah, you can, so let's see, wait, that's the scroll overlay. Try one more time, refresh cache of current page. It should be disappearing. It's not disappearing. That's weird. If I switch over here, it'll disappear. That's weird. Oh, I know why it's not, because I'm at a breakpoint in Visual Studio. Let's hit continue here, and then it'll refresh the cache of the current page, and then I think we should be good. If we switch back, okay, one more time, initialize player data. Okay, so there I think is the bug, but now I think I can now refresh it here. Hold on, scroll overlay, properties, refresh cache of current page. Oh, no, my same breakpoint problem right here. Hold on. Run. And there's the refresh. Now the refresh just worked, I think. So that should work.
Okay, so the data's definitely arriving because we can see the data in there. We definitely got the data in order to push it into the set of characters. But at some point prior to that and the rendering itself, something breaks down and it ceases to be available.
Yeah. The other thing so here's our active character, and this is where we render the page. So this is the other piece right here that's going on. Set a breakpoint here. Look at the active character. What do we got here?
That's 15s.
Yeah, a bunch of 15s.
That's exactly the...
And again, it's also cut off here, so I want to find out who that active character is. I'd have to come in here and say active character dot name, something like that. And what name? Yeah, that's not good. Is coming from this dot characters, and this dot characters is also in character stat scroll.
So at this current time, is this dot characters filled with rubbish, or is it now got? I don't know.
No, this is rubbish. This is all like what? So the question
is, literally only one. Well, but I'm saying that's the active character. Are there other characters? Are there still 4, for example, and are they all rubbish?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think they're all 4 and they're all rubbish is what I think. Let's double check that. Yeah, 4. And so somehow characters is being initialized with I think, bad data. Now, there's, I guess, also an outside chance, it just occurred to me, that the problem isn't necessarily here. The problem is here. This might be the problem, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because we have this call to copy attributes from, and what we're doing is we're passing in data and update player data. Let's set a breakpoint here. This could actually be totally it. This is like the only thing that makes sense to me. Is the list in the watch window also cut off? Yeah, show the entire list. Oh, sorry, Will. Way late me seeing that. We already talked about that. Rory saw that. And caught that first. Let's see. So update player data. So let's come in here and see if we get to, let's hit continue on this. Let's clear that breakpoint there. Hit continue.
Mark!
Oh, yeah, we were at a breakpoint. We didn't see that.
I suspect what Will's referring to is it's not so much the use of the watch window to get to a singular property that was otherwise not available, but the ability of the watch window to show the list of properties beyond that which the active tip was showing.
Let's check that. So let's come in here and let's say add watch and look at it and see what we got. Yep, the watch window nails it. The tip window does not. I wonder if it's a setting somewhere to limit. And I'm like, no, don't do that. All right, so that's what's going on there. F. Bucheros has tried to launch a drone, and I don't see the drone coming out here. Why is that? I wonder. Oh, because sometimes this happens if we're like breaking and not. I'm going to refresh the drone overlay, and when that comes back up, when you see the scroll bars to the right and the bottom of the screen when they disappear, try that drone command again and see if those come out. So now I've got this other breakpoint. I'm going to come over here, hit initialize player data. Oh, look, we do get it. What are we doing? Sending in garbage? What's our call stack? Let's see if we can figure that out. Windows, call stack. Where are we coming from? Player data changed. Player data changed. We're coming from, we're sending some stuff out from up above is what I think is happening.
Can we switch the view again, Mark? We've got
you bet.
a somewhat covered screen. There we go.
Yeah, so let's keep running this a second. I think that's the bad data coming in. I didn't verify that, but let's actually set a breakpoint there and verify it.
That's a little strange.
Yeah, no symbols loaded for the document. We were just there. I don't think I made any changes to the document. Let's go out here. Pause in Visual Studio. It's not paused. I've seen this problem before. We are hosed. At this point, we're hosed. We're going to have to restart. So, folks on trying to fly the drones, all of that, we're going to, give me a sec. We're going to restart everything here. So what we got here. What other apps need to shut down? And killing every instance of Chrome. We have not shut down. I thought I did. I had Shift F5, I thought. We'll test silent entry. Yeah, that's right. Kids get to do that. And update player data. I want to go check out over, I'm going to hit start on this. Well, actually, yeah, we can do it. While I'm hitting start, I want to come over Hubtastic Base Station. Let's go find our update player data here and see. I bet you we can find some code out here that I've just forgotten about that initializes. It's being triggered on the change, on the dice on the change that's sending out the wrong data. It's so funny. We're looking totally in the wrong project for the problem. Okay. Update player data is not there. All right, let's widen out the search. I'm going to hit run. And update player data. Whoops, that was only in TypeScript files. I want to also search in C# files as well. I'm hearing like a little bit of, I think, audio error noise in the background where you are, Rory. Like as if a window were open or something to that effect.
It shouldn't be. No, not that I can see.
Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Wait, what am I finding? No, that's not what I was trying to find. Did I really? Ugh, I did update player data. Okay. Could be my dishwasher, says Certainly Dev. Okay, what do we have here? Just to here?
Okay, well that's fairly minimal.
That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, in order to oh, you know what? Hold on. Where's it coming from? This dot update player data change. That's what I'm looking at. So the player data changed is what we're calling. That's what we need to look for. Okay, let's come back over there. Player data changed. Find all. Now we're getting some more stuff out here. All right, cool. So main window. I bet you this is one of our problems here. Yeah, I think our problem's over in this space. Okay, so let's refresh over in in our stream. Let's refresh our stream. This, I think, is likely to refresh all of these. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to have to refresh those caches. Did I make any changes in any of those recently? I don't think so. So I think just reloading will be okay. And let's go figure out what's going on with the player data changed and where we are. Yeah, player changed. Player active page, string empty. We're sending string empty there. String empty there. Character sheets.get character. Is that it? Those are the three. So tab control player changed. Let's just, I'm going to set breakpoints on. Well, you know what? Let's drill in and let's set a breakpoint. Then we'll go out and see what that data is right there. So we're going to come in here, set a breakpoint here. I'm going to come back over. Let's get our. There's our scroll window for the test. Let's come up here and click that button. And what do we got? We're here. Let's go in. We've got a player ID of -1. Call stack. And call stack is right down here because I've got the find up above it. Hold on, let's clear the find out. And that's coming from player changed. The player ID is -1, meaning nobody has been activated yet.
Yeah.
How do we get in here? Build player tabs. Oh, interesting. So we're calling this children add. We're adding all those tabs here from build player tabs. And that's happening here. Set player data. So we're inadvertently calling player data changed from that. And I think the question is, should we do that or not? And I'm thinking kind of no. I think I want to do something like this. I want to do, I want to do if building tabs, then I want to say, return, like that. Then let's go down to, where were we? Actually, the call stack is where we want to be. Here. And I want to say, actually I want to do it here. I want to set it to true here. And then I want to select all of this and hit the letter F to embed it in a try finally. And then I want to come down here and type in SF to set to false right there. So that's CodeRushed helping me do that quickly. Then CodeRushed is going to come in and help me declare this as a field right there. And so I've got building tabs like there. And so there it is. We set it to true, we set it to false, and then in the future that won't trigger it. Let's just run it and see if what's my problem? Oh yeah, they don't like that. Okay, fine. Let's try again. Got to take it out. All right, let's get out of the try block. Get out of here. I think we're sending it multiple times is what's happening here. Character changed, any stat changed. I think I'm out of it. Am I or not? Let's go back to where we were here. Right in here. I guess I'm going to set a breakpoint there and run. And there, we're out of it. So now we're out of it. Now we can select the whole thing. Select it, hit the letter F, and down here type in, is it there? So type in SF, set to false. Okay, and then now we can run it. And now, if I clear that breakpoint, we might see better results. We've got this problem again. If I can refresh it, I don't know. I'm not feeling confident that Chrome's going to be fast here. How long have I been coding?
Challenge.
Go chucking 69.
Is in the house.
Pause in Visual Studio. It is not paused in Visual Studio. Yeah, I think we're looking at another reload. So we're going to look at everybody's stuff again is what I'm thinking. I think I was paused too long. And I think that, let's try, well, it looks like it's updating while it's trying to refresh. I wonder what would happen if I tried to load another page. And I think we're still going to see this thing continue to refresh here. It's like, it is not, I don't know of a good workaround for this.
No, that's a bit challenging, all right.
Yeah, I think it's a close and a restart is faster than waiting to watch this thing load. Okay, so let's do that. We'll close it, kill everything down. Gochuking said, sorry, didn't hear you on that. I've been coding for about, is it really? Yeah, we're getting close to 4 decades. In about 2 years, I'm at 4 decades, kids. That's your grandfather's coder. I'm the old guy now. I used to be the whiz kid, and now I'm not the whiz kid anymore. Let's start it up. And we'll get this running. Yeah, I've been coding for a long time, and I love it. Surlydev says, making me feel old. I'm making Surlydev feel old. Yeah, I basically count the start of my coding as about age 16 is when I was really heavily coding. Pretty much. When I was much younger, I learned about coding at a much younger age, like probably 9 or 10. But I didn't have a computer for a while until I was 16. So I would just write programs out on paper because I was crazy. It's interesting. You ever look back on your life, Rory, and think, "Oh yeah, that was crazy. I was crazy back then."
I look back on yesterday with very, very similar theories.
Yeah.
Surlydev is in the house.
Thinking beyond the last week is challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
I think I started coding around the age of 7-ish.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that was obviously the very basic stuff back then.
Nice.
But yeah, been at it a while.
Nice. All right,
Not sure I've improved any.
let's see if that gives us any improvement if we do initialize player data. Got anything better? Nope. Same 15 that I was not expecting to see. All right, so let's go back and figure out what's going on. We want to go back to our breakpoints here. I think player data changed is one of these that's coming in, and let's set a breakpoint there and see what's coming in. We'll do it one more time. Click that button there. What's the player data coming in? I don't have any way to preview this. I guess I can do this. Copy the whole thing.
Yeah.
And let's paste it in Notepad. I guess we'll do that.
That's
you don't like it?
Old school debugging.
Yeah, that's old school. It's proof that I've. So what do we got here? We're looking for. Yeah. Look at this. You can see Constitution 15, Charisma. It's the base. It's got
So
the bad data.
Coming in is the bad data.
Yeah, the data coming in is the bad data. All right, so we've verified that. Now, where's it coming from? Well, it's coming from somebody's calling player data change still, or rather, they're calling. Wait, hold on. The player data changed. They're calling player data change still. So somebody out here is calling player data changed. We need to figure that out. So let's go back to the Hubtastic base station. Let's put a breakpoint there. Let's keep running. Hopefully we hit this button fast enough. What? I'm back here again and again and again. Tell you what, I put on my bookcase in the home office the other day, the box for my first computer, which I bought about 36 years ago. Surlydev, what was your first computer? Was it a...
Legendary Moo is in the house.
What was your first computer, Surlydev? Remember, kids, if when we restart, if you want to be quiet coming in, you can put your first post in square brackets. If you don't want to take over, if you want to take over, that's totally fine too. What's going on? Yeah, Legendary Moose just helping up. Yeah, I forgot to reset. Sorry about that. Oh, I missed one of Gochuking's questions. Gochuking's questions. I'm writing C# and TypeScript is what I'm working on. No ASP.NET MVC, no Web API.
What's the Signal R thrown in there?
Is in the house.
Nice. Wait.
That's an attempt at stealth that wasn't very stealthy.
Well, we got a problem somewhere. We got a bug. M Holloway 24. You don't have to worry. We don't have a fanfare for you yet. You hang out long enough in this show, you'll get your own fanfare though. Very self-evident. Yeah, didn't notice you at all. That's really weird. Why? Yeah, we got to go find that bug. All right, so let's look at what's calling player data changed. I've got it up here. I'm going to come back over here. Click initialize player data. Where's this coming from? Handle character changed. The character I'm sending out is let's do this.
From get character.
Let's do an add watch and do.
If you could switch the view again, Mark. The scroll is somewhat obscuring.
There you go. Thanks for that, buddy. Do we have a name property in character? What do we got? We don't have a name property in character. Okay, so we're sending absolutely the wrong data, I think. Character sheets.get character. Hold on. It's a string. Hold on. What's going on with get character?
Which I guess is encoded data, sure.
Yeah, it should be okay because I'm doing JSON convert on it and I've got a character. So I'm creating a new character. I'm passing over. I'm putting all of the pieces from our different stats that are there.
So let's track a stat. We got like a strength or a dexterity somewhere in there? One of the ones that's going, in theory, wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Maybe the stats are wrong. That's a great point. Let's try it. All right. Let's hit our run button. Get character. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing in here. Where's my name here? That would be nice to know. See the name. There's my name. Let's just set my breakpoint there. What do we got? The name is just name. So this is where my bad data is coming from. So my character stats, stat alignment.text is nothing. So that seems to be incorrect, is what it seems to be. And how are we getting here? Character change, any stat change, text change. Hold on. We're setting a value in it and it's triggering it. On text changed, boom, there. Hold on, let's roll back the stack here. There's there. Set from character. Here. Character sheets. Okay, so we're in set from character and we go to stat box, character sheets.get character. Hold on. Handle character changed, main window. I'm character on character changed. Boom. Here's what we need to do. We need something here that says if changing internally, then we're out. Note the time, Rory. I typed in changing internally. I think I hit end or enter or something like that. End and enter, and and I think IntelliSense or IntelliRush came in and changed it for me. I want you to look. I want somebody to look carefully at exactly what I did right there as I'm typing that in. So changing internally, then we're going to get out there. That's in character changed. Then we need to. That's that part. Then it's like
to both set and unset that value.
We need to set it right from here. I think is what we need to do. Is that so? Let's set a breakpoint here. Run it. What's my problem? Oh, changing internally. Let's declare that as a Boolean. So variable type Boolean right there. And let's run it. And I guess I'll clear my breakpoint right there. And now that we're here, now we want to come in here and we want to say set to true. And then we want to select the whole thing. Like that. And then we hit the letter F. And then we want to type in set to false. By the way, when I hit that letter F, Rory, the caret was off screen and it should have scrolled it up. Look at that was for the selection embedding. I want to see that character on screen. So now we're going to run it again. We're just kind of working our way down here, finding why we're sending this data out and seeing if it's getting any better. Oh yeah, we got this problem here. It just does not like the really long pauses, and I think we're kind of screwed here. Going to restart it again. You guys ready to see intros and fanfares again with the bugs? No ability to shut it down. Let's look at that. Figure out what's going on with the. Rory, Mark, would there be any benefit to the CodeRushed devs for Mark to run something like Karnak to show keystrokes as he's typing? Yeah, there would. I think that's a great suggestion. I think
we have a couple of mechanics for that, don't we?
Yeah, I do. I've actually got I've got this right here, which we can pop up. I'll put it right here for now, and you can see the keystrokes as I'm pressing them as I move through. So we can do that for now. I need to start looking for a job. I'm nervous about whether I've forgotten C# due to all the TS. That's so funny, Will, because, well, I guess two things. Kids, Will's looking for a job. The guy's like super sharp, man.
Yeah, hire this man.
Hire this guy, number one. Number two, yeah, I find that it's not hard to relearn it. Like if I work in C# long enough, I'm like, oh yeah, I got everything. I wouldn't worry too much about that because the compiler is going to find most of those issues. That's not going to result in, you don't become a crappy developer all of a sudden, right? Because you're no longer working in a particular language. I think the skills that you learn in one language are, for the most part, totally applicable to any other language.
Yep.
My first computer box, let's see what Surly Dev's got right here. Click that link. Oh, okay. I was going to guess like a Sinclair or something like that, but yeah, it is a Sinclair. I was totally going to guess this. I was going to totally guess the Sinclair, and I guess this counts because I think Sinclair was off the screen a little bit. Yeah, I think they had this as a kit that you could build. I think it was also available as a kit. And I got the kit and built it, and it did not work, and I was sad at the end. I just stared at a machine, a bunch of parts that did not work. I was sad. Tried my best. Don't know what mistake I made. It's hardware as you're putting things together, right? That was the ZX80 or Z81 that came as a kit. I am not sure. But I've actually had, I was learning just at the birth of this, right? I remember programming, not with punch cards ever, but I remember programming with hex, right? Entering the hex code on what I think was a Z80 processor. And my screen was a bunch of LEDs. So I could move up and down. I had buttons to move up and down through the code to see what the hex code was at each place, program it in. And I was actually creating little games and stuff like that. And I remember at the time I was like, I think I was in high school, but this was a college class I was taking. And I remember everybody in the class was like, it's the Whiz Kid. It's the Whiz Kid. Nobody's really called me that in probably 20 years, I want to say. So, so anyway, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I got this right-click menu up for the for this guy. This guy's really taking his time. I'm like, there's just no way. I think it's faster. Shutting it down again.
Sadly so, yeah.
Sadly so. Before we start running again here, so there's that change. I think we got a shot with that helping us out. At the very least, I think the methodology we're using, Rory, is I think a good methodology. I think it's totally a good methodology on that. Let's see. Also, by the way, Will Bennett. Yeah, Wiz does have two meanings. It does. That is correct. Technically, yes. Will, if you throw something out on Twitter and you want me to retweet that with regards to looking for folks, looking for a job, looking for a new place to work, just call my attention to it and I'll retweet you. Yeah, smarter type of cheese. I also used to be called the Cheese Whiz as well when I was in college because I liked cheese a lot and I ate a bunch of cheese. I wanted to go over into Mr. Announcer Bot, I think, and go look at the fanfare stuff out here.
We were going to look at the ability to stealthily enter, weren't we?
Yeah. What's going on with that? So there's my fanfares. And I don't know. I guess I could also just look for like that. There it is right there. So suppress fanfare today is equal to chat message not null and chat message not null and chat message not message. And it starts with that.
Will, did you sneakily put an unprintable character in front of your square bracket?
Let's do this. So if we suppress it, then we're out. But if we not, I want to just check to see if the chat message contains that anywhere in it. Then I'm going to set a breakpoint is what I want to do. I want to do something like that. If chat message dot index of is greater than or equal to 0. Then we're going to do a breakpoint. Stick a breakpoint right there. All right, now we're going to run. That was that sound effect for my
That
question.
is correct, Legendary Moo. The square brackets this within your message would indeed suppress the fanfare, assuming that we change our logic to match that, which we're using to catch the breakpoint.
I'd have to do this, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Or I think I was going to have it only start with it, but I just want to see what's going on. Maybe the chat message, maybe Twitch is giving me something else in there.
So a good test if Will could maybe wait till this running, and if he could pump out the same message that he used before. I'm trying to think where that was.
Yeah, Surly Dev's asking, typing Alt plus 255 numeric keypad in a directory named in DOS to create a special folder. I think he's talking about the special way of creating the characters there.
Why would you want a hidden folder to hide things in? I can't imagine needing that.
I used to do this. We used to do this a lot. In fact, I think we would do this. I feel like we would do this as part of the app.
Surly Dev is in the house.
That was not an attempt at stealthy, so that's fine.
Hit a hidden DOS folder with all the commands in it. Stealth Ninja, take 2. Will Bennett did it, and he makes it through. And we're not at a breakpoint.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Somebody here, let me do it. I'm going to create a hello with an open bracket in it and send it just to get our breakpoint. There it is, right there. And I'm just going to.
But he made it through.
Clear my
breakpoint. Didn't hit your breakpoint, but he equally didn't trigger.
Yeah. So sorry, Legendary Moo got it there. I didn't change that.
Legendary
little guy.
He's in the house.
I think that little guy's going to make it someday. I think he's going to make it. One day he's going to make it. I'm going to, do I need to, looks like the drone game and stuff is reloading. Is what it looks like might be happening. I'm not sure if the drones are going to work or not, because I kind of feel like they need to, that can be an alternate one for me. Wait, what's an alternate one for you, Legendary Moo?
The little guy surviving.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we can.
Little guy can run off screen, grab a rocket launcher or something, and take out the.
Oh, that's awesome! I love it. He comes back in with a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
He makes it off, and then he's like coming back in. All right, cool. Inspiration. Love it. Yeah.
Him and his buddies. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. We can make that work. Or the alien's wearing a cow mask. Yeah, maybe we can do something like that. Okay. So I don't know why that didn't work, Will. I don't know why that didn't work the last time you tried it, but it's working now. So,
but I was a little confused there. He got the suppression, or so you used the suppression technique. It did apparently suppress the fanfare, but you didn't hit the. I didn't think you hit the breakpoint, did you?
No, I didn't, because the breakpoint is only hit if the message has it in it, but not at the start.
You would have exited out. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was hit later when I typed in my test, and I think Legendary Moo was trying to do it as well, but ended up getting. I beat him to it, and I cleared the breakpoint, so he triggered. Intentionally maybe, or unintentionally. All right, so let's go back to our test, see what we got going here. Now if we come in to our app, and let's go to players, click this button. What do we got coming in? Initialize player data. Nothing flies in. That's not good. We have any errors? No errors?
No errors, no data, no effect. It's just ignoring us.
Yeah, that's weird. Let's try changing the character. Well, this part's good news.
Yeah.
Those numbers are all lining up, right? So we've got the data is actually being sent across. That part's good. Let's go back over to Willie. Maybe it's just the initialize followed by a change. Okay, that's not bad. All right, now I'm feeling good. I feel like I got one set of data as opposed to multiple sets of data here. We're still in the Dungeon Master app. We're not showing these numbers correctly. And I think we might also be having a problem lower level too with regards to one of the features I recently added, which is the ability to specify double proficiency. Oh no, we got it fixed. It's fixed. Deception is now at +6 and persuasion is +6. So Willie Shaker's character has the ability to specify a double proficiency. And so those numbers are all correct now. These are all awesome and correct. I'm happy about these. So those are all good. So good. So we fixed that problem. And we're at about an hour in. Rory, how are you doing on time, buddy?
I think I got to go because we've got a second meet up this evening, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which I got to prep for a little bit, or at least clear the way for.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
Notwithstanding that, I will catch you again. I believe next Tuesday.
Yeah, let's do it next Tuesday. I think I'm going to end the show about now too, because we got to prep for that. I got to prep for that. I got to do a couple other things as well. Let me see who else is out there. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, Rory. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And actually, maybe I'll do a little bit of coding. I might go for another half hour, I think is what I might do.
All right. Have a good one. We'll
right.
see you Tuesday.
See you, Rory. Thanks so much. All right. CM Griffing is out there. I'm not sure what that is. Or Dowright. I'm not sure what those are references to. Or Visual Studio. I know that. Hugo's asking, is Willie Shaker Hulk Hogan's D&D character? It is not Hulk Hogan's D&D character. This is Kent Altstad, who has sometimes spoken at conferences. He's a pretty smart guy, also a very creative guy. He plays the character Willie Shaker. So here's what I got to do on my list. I have to, let me do this. Let me bring up a new instance of Notepad. I'll just kind of tell you what I got to do before we go live. There are a couple things I have to do. One is I need damage effects testing. Is what I need to create. And this is what I was going to work on next. So basically the idea is we've got a character up here and then we want them to take damage. And when we do that, we want the damage, we want to see it subtract from their hit points, whatever those are. And we also want to see, the character video. So right here, my video is moved over Merkin Bushwhacker right here. That's my character. We want to see blood shooting out from my character when I take damage. And the more damage, the more over the top the blood should be. So what I wanted to start next was the damage effect testing page. So I was going to come over here, create damage effects or whatever damage. And then we were going to start, creating the UI for that. That's one of the things I need to do. I have some small things I need to do as well, small tasks. I need to be able to make the scroll disappear because we don't want one on screen all the time. So I need it to roll up and a poof of magic and it's gone. So I need that, the scroll effect to roll up. It should be pretty easy to do. It is essentially that roll, which we already have, followed by some kind of poofing effect right there. We need bugs / perf issues. We need to also we need to solve the emitter perf on scroll open issue. That's something we've seen a number of times, and we need to figure that out. Hold on. Mark, when you record your intro to CodeRushed, make sure part of that is how you set it up and configure to activate the features. Oh, that's a great suggestion, Hugo. Thanks. Surly Dev says, Dev Chatter just went live. Ooh, Dev Chat is live. Let's go watch him and harass him live. That'll be my show. Mark reacts to Dev Chatter's stuff and harasses him live. And Legendary Moose says, I did that with Codebase Alpha. That's true. I did on Codebase Alpha's show. I went through essentially a live setup on that. Surly Dev says, how did none of you chuckle when he says Willie Shaker? There's some double entendres to some of these names. Willie Shaker, Shimo Globin, Merkin Bushwhacker, and Ava Wolfhard. So there's kind of something to the names there. It's intentional. It's a show that's going to be mature. We'll have some language in there. Unlike this show where the raciest we get is, the names of those names right there, which are double entendres. What else? The scroll disappear, emitter perf on scroll open. Then I've got another major task. So we'll say this is kind of a medium task right here. And then I've got this big task. This is the next big thing we're going to do. And this is the D&D map. And the D&D map is huge. It's got all kinds of issues with it. It has, we need to be able to, for example, scale the map. Scale, zoom it, and pan, right? That sort of thing. This, by the way, is distributed. That D&D map is distributed. The players have got the D&D map and the player UI. So the player needs to be able to choose, I don't know, let's just say the map by itself. Player UI is here like this. The D&D map has that. The D&D map has got to be able to support walls. Walls are in themselves crazy. The walls have got like the ability to be in different shapes. And you can set up like a 60-foot wall in a circle or a question mark or a wave or a straight line or a T or whatever. So you've got to be able to support creating walls that are as a result of spells. So shapes, O's, T's, L's, maybe we'll do that kind of a thing, etc. So that's kind of a big deal with regards to UI. On the map, we have to put the players and the monsters, traps, treasure, NPC, etc. etc. Let's move this out here like that. The player UI has got actions, what those are going to be to select and queue them up. So before we go live, our Dungeon Master essentially says, I want these done right here. So those are like the big things we have to do. The damage effect testing is built into the player UI, which will also encompass the battle. And we also have the DM UI as well, which is either going to remain here or inside WPF is what you're seeing this app over here, or it's going to go to, it's going to be in HTML. This is most definitely going to be in a web app, something on the web out here in a web page. The DM UI may stay in WPF or may go to a web page. I'm not entirely sure about that yet. So that's the DM UI, and this has got to be, this right here is we've got to essentially manage battle, damage, health, all kinds of things, the map, etc. So there's loads of stuff in there in the DM UI. And so that's kind of what we're looking at right here in terms of what's next. So damage effects testing is kind of, I think, the next thing I was going to go play with. That's what I was going to look at and play with. And at some point, I was going to try and squeeze in a scroll disappear and solve the emitter perf problem as well. I've got a couple ideas on how to solve that. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Let's see. Perhaps early dev, but it didn't activate anything for me if I did it. What is that? Setup wizard. Oh, yeah. You know what? Actually, and you know what, Hugo? We can actually do this right now because we can go through this. I am going to go through the setup wizard, and whoops, that's over on my main monitor. Let me drag it over here. So this is a CodeRushed setup wizard, and it talks about the different features of CodeRushed, and it gives you the ability to turn features on and off as you go through, based on some essentially answers to questions. And I strongly recommend everybody goes through this to take a look at some of these options, decide if you want them or not. And you can go in this again and again and again, anytime to change these options if you want. It's just a very visual way to go through and see some of the options that you may or may not like, may or may not want to incorporate. So a lot of these, for me, if coding efficiency is your priority, then you probably want most of these turned on, if not all of them. Like I think all of these, including enabling templates with the spacebar. But if you're just learning CodeRush or coding speed and efficiency is not your priority, maybe there's other features of the product you want, then you might want to disable some of these. And so that's kind of the essence of this. I have a very specific exploration of this Hold on, let's see if I can find that. CodeRushed feature of the week. And I think I've got the setup wizard in here. There it is right there. So the CodeRushed feature of the week setup wizard is there. And let me just take that, copy that. I'll put this in there if you want to go take a look at that in more detail. So that's one of the ways. Also, I also recommend this playlist is pretty good in terms of the compactness and the focus of each of these that we've done here. So if you're going through here, you see any of these that have a single letter and then the word for next to it, like E for enum, it's telling you about that particular piece as a template. So you can learn about creating enums, creating methods, that sort of thing. And so, and they're all pretty short. They're about at most 15 minutes, but a lot of them average about 5 minutes as you go through them. So they're a lot of them are shorter than 5. So so those are out there. You can take a look at those, and we just kind of go through those templates and a lot of the other features in the product, and go into them in some depth. So that's another way. I strongly recommend the feature of the week playlist, which I'm going to pop out here too. Okay, so Hugo, if you have a specific question, like I had to switch to tab key because spacebar is inconsistent. And Surly Dev says, I noticed a bug with the setup wizard. Still need to report. What's the bug with it? You want to just tell me now? And I'll mark the time, and we're about an hour and 12 minutes in, hour and 11 minutes in, I think. Let me know what the bug is, Surly, and we'll, if we can reproduce it. Some settings weren't persisting. Okay, so maybe we'll need a screencast of that if we can get that. That would be good to take a look at. Okay. So let's play with this idea. We've got everything running right now, but we've got a live XAML edit feature Visual Studio. So let's maybe go in there and play with that. So we're going to go, let's get this on screen. I guess I can get that on screen here. I'll have to put it off to the side. So I'll be watching this. So let's look at, I'm going to create a new tab next to players. And we're going to create something called damage. So let's go find that, jump to XAML reference, look for players, tab players. That's what I want. And that's the tab control. Oh wait, that's not the one I want actually. I want over here. Time modifiers, we're getting close. There it is right there. This is the tab control. It's not named, is that what the deal is? Okay, that's why I couldn't jump to it. All right, so we've got dungeon there, and let's do this. Fastest way to get out to the other side of tab item is just use selection increase to get the whole thing, and now I'm on the other side of it. So I don't have to page down to search for it. There's players. And then let's create a new tab item right here. So we're going to do that. And we're going to say tab item. This is going to be, let's give it a good name here. Actually, I'm going to take out button from inside here, I think, for now. This is going to be our damage. And I think we need a, wait, what's happening right here? The collecting marker feature kept disabling every time I reran the setup wizard. If I go in and next, when I get to marker setting, it's a disabled markers, which I can change to collect with Alt End and finish. Then run the wizard again, it's disabled again. Disabled markers, let's look at that. So let's see, I bet I can't duplicate now, but I might be able to figure it out by disabling another setting. So let's look at this. Did I miss it? There it is, right there. So if I say disable markers, finish, okay, let's bring it up again, setup wizard. Okay, next, still disabled for me. So now let's enable it, say finish, and Next. It's enabled. So I think there's a setting somewhere else that is not getting changed. I think that's the bug. Also, make sure you've got the most recent version. I think we're at, let's go look at, let's go out to CodeRushed, Visual, let's do this, Roslyn. CodeRushed Roslyn, Visual Studio Marketplace, and our latest version is 19.15. That's our latest version right there. So make sure you got the latest version there too, if you don't mind double checking that. And new version dropped yesterday, says Legendary Mood. That might be true. I think it was actually a couple days ago, but maybe it was in fact yesterday. All right, so we're going to damage right here. I want to get a couple things here. I want to get a, I think I want a text box. Damage, we did this, damage health, we do both. So we can set these up on both of these. So I'm going to create a text block right here. Text, we're going to say health. I think I can put health on top and damage on the bottom. And I'm going to put this inside of a health like that. And let's put this inside of a stack panel. It's going to be horizontal. I want this to be no named, I think. And so we're going to do text blocks there. And then we're going to do TBX, which is going to give me a text box. And I'm going to call that text box health like that. Right after that, let me go take a look at what we're doing so far. Here's what we've got so far, damage health. So health is there. That's what it looks like. Let's change this to that. And let's also give it a margin at the end of it here. Oops, and we'll give that 0, 0, and the right, we'll give it like maybe 8 right here, like that. And take a look at that now. So there's the health right there. I think we can do this, make it a 4. Down here, I want to make its min width to be, min width to be about 90. What is it, MW90? Is that what it is? There we go, min width, like that. And there it is right there. So there's my health. Let's also create another stack panel here. I think this can be unnamed as well. So we'll create another one, and this is going to be vertically aligned. And we'll put that stack panel in there. And underneath that, then we're going to create a button that's going to say inflict damage, something along those lines. Inflict damage. Like that. It looks like this. There's what we've got right there. Let's set its max width to about 150. So MXW 150 is the shortcut template I'd use there. And there it is right there. I think we can move it over, align it over to the left as well. We can say, I think it's horizontal alignment. HA, get it to me better. There we go. Horizontal alignment is left. There it is right there on the left side. I want to, in here, I want to create a margin around here of like maybe 4, like that. So there it is coming down like that. And then down here, I want to have a margin above this of 0 and then maybe 8, 0. So the button moves down a little bit. That's not bad. And I think I also want to have a padding inside here as well. Let's do a padding of like 4. So P4 is going to give me that padding I want right there. And there we go. So we've got that down there. So we've got our health and we've got our button to inflict damage or inflict health. Inflict health, change hit points. Maybe we'll change it to that, change hit points. Like that. Or apply change, like that. And then down here, we're going to call these two damage. like that. And then this is going to be the text damage. Okay. So that's what the UI looks like. Let's take a look at it over here. Apply change. We need, I think we're going to put, right above here, we're going to put an M. And we're going to put, what is it? What are we doing for our separator distance here? Looks like it's 8. Okay. And there it is right there. So health and damage. And we can apply one of those two, I think. If we change one, we need to change the other. So we need to solve that problem. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate something that, well, I don't know, should I demonstrate this or not? I have the ability to do edit and continue with named controls on here, even though we've added these names. Normally, those aren't out there anywhere. But I created a template to help me do edit and continue for this. So I can actually theoretically do this whole thing from edit and continue. I just got to get to a breakpoint. So what I can do is I can go out to the die roller, grab one of these. Let's go set a breakpoint in the code, and we'll finish this up and demonstrate how we do it using edit and continue. Here, this breakpoint will occur if I change the ability using let me do this. I want to change over to this view here, and drag in front overlay. I'm going to hide that and reload the drag in front overlay as well. If I come in here and I drag, I think it's the skill check down and change it, or it's a saving throw. Was it that? There's my breakpoint. Okay, so there's my breakpoint in there. Now what I can do is, now that I've got the breakpoint, I can come over here and I can start hooking up the events. Although now I've got this thing floating. That was a little bit unfortunate, but we can do that. So I can come in here and I can say, well, let's see. When the health changes, that's when I want to clear out the damage. Or maybe not. Maybe let's do this. Hold on. Let's do this. What's the complaint here? Did not find any elements to update. That's okay. Update health or add health. And then down here, we're going to come down here and we're going to have this be inflict damage. It might also be that we're stepping through the code here too as well. Like that. We don't need the 8 here. And we don't need the 8 here. And I'm going to hit run. And let's see what's going. So now this is what we look like right there, which is not bad. I'm okay with that look a little bit more. Let's get a little bit of margin here between the text box and so we're going to come in here. So 0, 0, and this is going to be like maybe an 8, and that looks good. And then let's do the same thing here. So 8, like that. Okay. And so now our UI looks like this. Okay, we still need a breakpoint in here because I didn't hook up the buttons yet. So let's go back over here, set our breakpoint. Clear history log, click, roll extra only, click. I got a breakpoint on that, so let's do that. We'll go back over here, and we'll say extra only, click there, and now we're going to hook up the events. So that means we need I think we need at least one event here. We need a on click event handler there, new event handler. Okay, so there's that one, and that's for applying health, and we need one down here as well. Click. New event handler. Now what's the underline here? Is it just going to say didn't find items to update? Not telling me. Let's run. Okay, let's set breakpoints on this click event handler, see if those work. Apply health, click, inflict damage, click. All right, so damage health, add health. Good, event handlers are working. So we haven't restarted yet, right? We've got, now, we've got event handlers, we've got the change, we've done this all using live XAML. Now we're at a point now where I want to access that TBX that we've added out there, that TBX text box, which is called this one right here, TBX health. So I want to go get that. The problem is that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist yet because we need to stop and rerun. But what we can do is this. Let's see. I've created a new template called, what is it? XCN, I think, for XML control. Name. What did I call it? I thought that was XML named control, XNC. There it is. XML XAML named control, so XNC. And so now we come in here and we type in text box here, and then we hit enter on that, and then we just paste in the name of it here. And what this does is this creates a property for us, so now we can come in here and write the code, and then later we can delete this after edit and continue is done. So I'm not sure this is something I'm going to necessarily ship, but this is something that I built using CodeRushed. And so now I can come in here and I can say, okay, let's go get that TBX health and say .text and get the data from it. And so we can say, for example, we're expecting that to be a number. So we can say if int.try parse of that out int result, like that. Then we want to come down here and we're going to do something with that. We need to go send something over to it. So we say to do send result to via signal R. Now, I can't change signal R during edit and continue, but I can at least get this far. So we get down to here. Let's set a breakpoint in here and keep running. And so now if I type in a number for health, we should hit our breakpoint. So now if I say like, I don't know, 13 and say add health, now we're here because we've got the result as 13. So kind of a cool thing that we can do. The other thing is that if we stop and we try to rerun it again, this TBX health here is going to generate a compile error. And that's your reminder to delete after you're out of your edit and continue section. So kind of cool. I think I'm going to end the show with that. I'm not giving away a copy of CodeRushed today. Normally I do. But if anybody's listening that doesn't have a copy of CodeRushed, any of you folks out there that want a copy of CodeRushed, it's an add-in for Visual Studio. I'm using it to write code in Visual Studio. We're dog fooding it 3 times a week. If you are out there and don't have a copy of CodeRushed and would like one, I'm seeing you lurkers out there now. Just let me know, if you're a Visual Studio developer and want it, and I will get you a copy of CodeRushed. Year-long license to that if you need that. Now's your chance to do that. I'm going to, in the meantime, while you're contemplating whether you want that or not, Legendary Moose says, thanks for being awesome as always. FastJack42 says, just watching code to get my Mondays fixed. Okay, FastJack42. By the way, Dragon Humpers is the show, twitch.tv/Dragon Humpers. No, we're not live yet, and probably won't be till August, I think. That's my hope, that we're able to go live by August. But that's the show to watch if you want to get your Mondays fixed. If you're looking for, outrageous, fun stuff. Hugo's saying, have a great rest of the week and weekend, everyone. I want to echo that back to all of you. Where's the setting that you mentioned? Let's go find that. CodeRushed, options. And if you come in here and search for markers, 2 places. On quick setup, you're going to look for an option here. I don't think that's the one that's messing with you. I have a feeling the problem might be here. It might be that this is off right here. That's my guess. But whatever your settings are key to reproducing it. So what I would do maybe before playing with this too much, if you don't mind, is come in here, go into settings folder. So CodeRushed support, settings folder. and that's going to open that up. And then just, you know, zip that up so we've got a backup of what things were before, and then you can start playing with it. That can help us reproduce it. So that would be awesome. All right, let's see. Who's out there that we are following? Dev chatter. All right, looks like, let's just double check that they're out there and they're live right now. They look like they're live. Excellent. I'm going to say excellent. They're out there. So let's do that. Let's raid you guys over to Dev Chatter. Say hello to Brendan for me. And I think that's it. We'll say, anybody need CodeRushed? Nobody, looks like nobody did it. It looks like everybody's good. All right, here we go. Boom, that's enabled. So we're going to raid you guys over there. Thanks again, everybody. We will see you on Tuesday.